All right. Hey, welcome to Matt Foster, our Syrinx product manager for the Q2 of 2023 update.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so you are our Syrinx expert. So what happened with Syrinx in Q2 of 2023? I just want the highlights, not every single thing that's happened in the software.
No, that is fine. So over the last quarter, we've been working a lot on 365. I'm sure a lot of people are aware now. 365 is coming out this year. So over the last quarter, we've been working a lot on the feedback from our internal alpha testing. So that's a pretty key piece. Obviously, we don't want to be putting that out there with any issues in it. So that's what we've been spending a lot of work on. Um, Another key thing that we've done recently, although it doesn't sound quite that big, it's quite an important one. So there's a requirement if you're doing a vehicle check and something fails, you need to be able to say, look, I've repaired whatever that failure was, and be able to link to it. Previously, like, a user wouldn't be able to see that. If anybody was coming in to audit them, they wouldn't be able to say, look, here's us repairing that thing that was wrong. So we've sorted out that. We've added in some links there, which make reporting a heck of a lot easier with that. So that's a pretty important one, although it doesn't look anything big and fancy. So that's a good one.
I've heard that people do like accurate reporting and easy to track.
Everyone loves accurate reporting. What's the point of it otherwise?
It's fair.
So so we've got that in there. We've made a bunch of changes over the last quarter to our Syrinx API. So we recognize that the integration is something a lot of people want, right? So not many places these days sort of stick with here's a monolithic system, everything is best in class within that system. And so an API is generally the go-to. We've had ours in Syrinx for quite a while now, and we're still building it out, still adding things to it for various different types of integration. So there's just sort of a few quick highlights on that. One is the access control. So previously, if you gave somebody some credentials to use your API, they'd have access to every endpoint, whether it was get customer or get invoices, they'd have access to it all. So we've got access control in there to sort of limit them to what they can see. We've added what3 words. So in a previous quarter, we added what3 words to Syrinx. We've now added that to our API as well. And then the other one is another get invoices one, another get invoices endpoint. So previously we've had it so that you can get the unposted ones for accounting. The whole idea of this one is it's more of a query. So you can say, I want to see all invoices for this customer between this date and this date. So it doesn't matter whether it's posted or not, but you can go and find them. So that's sort of the API we've been doing. There's one more sort of important update for people. If they're not already aware, we've now completed testing for Windows Server 2022 with Syrinx, as well as SQL Server 2022. So both of those are now properly supported. So that's another key thing for everyone.
What does the fact that it's now properly supported mean?
It just means that we've gone through a testing process. We've gone and made sure that Syrinx works various different areas. You're not going to get sort of a bunch of errors if you're doing things. And we can advise customers that yes, they can start using Windows Server 2022 and know that everything is good, or everything should be good, everything's all supported, and the same as SQL Server.
Okay, good. Okay, once again, I want to clarify before you answer that everything that we're talking about in the future is not 100% certain. So there may be some differences between what you're saying here and what actually ends up happening timeline-wise. But is there anything that people should be looking forward to in Q3 or around those parts within Syrinx?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks. So it's good to have that caveat in there. Always a good one, that is. So yes, we have 365, as I say. So that's our biggest thing right now. So we have beta testing, which is going to be going on through Q3. So that's going to be our early adopter phase. That will be where it's actually in customers' hands. They're testing it in anger rather than us sort of doing our internal testing, going through the paths we think customers use. That'll be them using it in a bit more anger and being able to say, look, I found a problem, and we can fully iron it out before we go to GA. But hopefully, fingers crossed, shouldn't be too many problems in the first place. Just to throw that out there. So yes, so we've got that coming through Q3, and then October. Not it's just outside of Q3, but October is when we're looking at for general availability for that as well. So that's the big exciting piece that we've got coming.
Awesome. Is there a particular thing about it that people should be excited about 365 or?
The search screens are, I think, are the biggest thing. It sounds a little bit mundane, but actually the search screens are a game changer. When you've got sort of the full customization view, you can change your columns around, you can save them, so you can always load back into how you previously had it. We've got a universal search. If somebody gives you a document number, but you don't know whether it's a contract, an invoice, or whatever else, you can throw that in there, and it'll just search through a whole bunch of different entities through contracts, invoices, and customers, everything, and it'll go and find you some results that are based on that number. So you don't have to keep going through every single search screen. So yeah, that's small, but it's also a game changer at the same time.
Yeah, it's weird how like searchability doesn't sound like a big thing, but the ability to find whatever you want whenever you're looking for it, like immediately, obviously super important. So that's really cool.
That's it.
Okay, now our final question. We always like to get to know our product managers a little bit more. So we're going to ask a more personal question. Would you like to be famous, and in what way?
I think I'd like to be famous for some of the easy things. To be like, oh yeah, I've got some time today. I'm gonna go and get a table at that restaurant and things like that. But no, I think in general, I don't think I'd want to be. I think I like my privacy. I think I like things to be quiet. I'd like to be go out and go and give my car a wash without sort of having paparazzi at the front of your house and just sort of sitting there watching you wash your car. So no, I think in general, I'll stick with the slightly more mundane life.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for joining me this quarter, and I'll see you again in another 3 months.
Awesome, thank you.